using the practice we call smriti, which is memory, which means practicing recalling memory of your intention or remembrance of a quality from your practice yesterday, or as we arrive each day to take our seat, remembering yesterday's seat and the day before and the many footsteps before. As you arrive right now, let's draw on the practice of smriti, remembering, in order to be here, really to expedite your arrival, so that the riffraff of the ceiling fan of the mind is not a disturbance. And then bring in the ujjayi breath, so that is like you're centering in the channel of the chakras, the central channel, Sushumna. And you could ask yourself the question, when you touch one of those beautiful qualities, when you lean into the luminous, why is it that you don't stabilize there? A hint about the possible responses: it's not because you don't have enough self-will or enough drive. Why don't we stabilize there? The reason I'm saying it's not about self-will or drive is that our culture has a pervasive and perpetual attitude that we aren't working hard enough to be the best version of ourselves. And yet when we cross this divide from the third chakra upwards to the fourth and the fifth, as I said yesterday, there's less and less personal sense of self and more of a sense that if the air under the wings of the birds is a part of what the bird is depending on, or the wind in the sail of the ship, the sail is surrendering to that wind. So when we rise up to this air element in the heart, we are being sustained or supported by something palpable but perhaps invisible. When you ask the question, why don't I stabilize? Let the question for now be something that can't be answered intellectually. And then please bring your hands up to your heart in Anjali Mudra. And we'll sing the invocation for the heart chakra, the one that I was sort of pairing this summer immersion here. It's Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sat Chidananda Murtaye Nish Prapanchaya Shantaya Nira Lambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nish Prapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nish Prapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchayo Shantayo Niralambaya Tejase Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Open your eyes. Interlace your fingers, please. Take the heels of the hands straight down. And start with your upright posture where you have this Jalandhar Bandha already established. And then coming to the Ujjayi breath. Inhale, go slowly upwards. Exhale, push out. Reach back to clasp your hands at the small of your back. Inhale, roll slowly upwards. Exhale, bring your chin and your spine into Jalandhar Bandha, releasing the hands at the same time. We begin again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, roll up, hands clasped behind you. Exhale to release. And again. Inhale to open. And exhale to release. Come down to the root. And breathe in. Lam, 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 lam. Ujjayi inhale. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Second chakra. Wum, wum. Wum, 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 wum. Wum, wum. Third. Brum, 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 brum. Brum, 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 brum. Brum, 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 brum. Please rest your hand in your lap. And reminding yourself that at each of the chakras, there is also the koshas to consider. Why do we not stabilize? How have you been nurturing the Annamaya kosha related to the first, second, third chakras? The physical nourishment, the hydration, and digestion. How do you tend to the pranamaya kosha? Choices for physical nourishment that include vitality, nourishing foods, activities that nourish you and your vitality that don't deplete or unground you. The second chakra, the sense associated with the second chakra is sweetness. The pranamaya kosha, how do you tend to the inner need for sweetness? Sweetness like the word delight, The pranamaya kosha at the third chakra, the sense associated here is sight. So how are you willing to see inwardly, discerning at the level of the mind? What is wise action? In the manomaya kosha, the root chakra, the element is earth. And at the level of the mind, how regularly do you reconnect to your dependence upon the earth? At the second chakra, the element is water. How do you care for the riverbanks of your attention, your senses, your intentions? And the third chakra, the element is fire. Are you able to digest your emotions, your thoughts, your moods? And something implied in each of these questions is that we have the time and the dedication. Life is not too busy, too overfull. So now I'd like us to take a little visit into kapalabhati. And if you'll take the hands and arms down like this, you're going to press down through the heels of the hands. This will be the first position, then the second position, and then the third position will be like this. And so pressing down, and this is for kapalabhati up to inhale suspension and then release. Let's begin. Exhale. Inhale up to suspension. Rest your hands in your lap. In your own timing, exhale completely. The arms out to the side. You're holding open the elevator doors, or you're in the trash compactor in Star Wars. You're holding it open, so you're not getting crushed. Kapalabhati. Exhale. Inhale to suspension, hands to the heart. Exhale completely and slowly. And then arms up. So you're asking for help, or you're giving praise, or it's like a celebration. You decide. Exhale. Inhale to suspension, hands on top of the head. Exhale slowly and completely. Okay, let's please come to a quadruped position with a blanket so that your head is going to have proper support. And I would recommend that you start this quadruped position towards the back of your mat. So what I'm going to do here is set up this padding so that it's for my head and also for the knees, and then just check that you have a spot at the edge of the mat where your hands will be on the sticky mat. Something like this. You know where you're going to be. You know there's a spot for your head, and so on. Okay, and starting at the back of your mat. Interlace your fingers at the small of your back, and let's go into that shoulder opening position again. So when you inhale, go upwards. And then exhale and come forward so that the forward bend is also squeezing the breath out. Touch your hairline down, and then inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down. So you're helping again to squeeze the breath out. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your hands and glide forward towards pranam. So your hands go to the sticky mat. Inhale, roll forward to cat. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale, inchworm pose. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, little higher cobra. Open your throat. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale to cat. Exhale, pranam, also called child's pose. Inhale, roll up, clasp your hands and open. Exhale, come forward, keeping the fingers interlaced. Touch your hairline down. Inhale to the crown of your skull. Exhale, hips to your heels. Inhale, roll open. Exhale, release your hands and glide forward. Pranam, also called child's pose. Inhale, cat. Cow pose. Inchworm pose. Cobra. Higher cobra. Open the throat. Cow pose. Cat pose. And child's pose. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Rise up to kneel. Okay, let's place the blocks at the ready. So I'm going to ask you to put the blocks forward. Hopefully they're not going to be, it won't feel like they're in your way. We'll find out when you go. We're going to pick up a practice from yesterday or the day before. I really, truly cannot remember. The nature of amnesia, I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember not remembering. Interlace your fingers. Okay, roll the shoulders open, rise up. Exhale, squeeze the breath out. Touch your hairline down. Inhale, roll to the crown of your skull. Exhale. Inhale, roll up, shoulders back. Exhale, pranam. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale, inchworm pose. Cobra. Higher cobra, open your throat. Exhale, cow pose. Now place your right hand on the block in front of it and inhale, reach back as you touch your left elbow down to the blanket. And exhale, draw the low belly in and lengthen your right sideways. And then inhale, reach up again to cow pose. Okay, place your right hand in line where it used to be. Take your left hand up to the block. And inhale, reach back, touch your right elbow down. And exhale, draw the low belly in, rotate your tricep in towards your nose. And inhale up to cow pose. And then exhale, place your hands so you're back in cow pose here. And inhale to cat. And exhale back to child's pose. Okay, roll up to kneeling. We're going to add to the sequence again. Now we're going to include lion's breath pose, like that, so that you're releasing. It's like a cleansing breath this way. And in that process, then when you inhale, go smoothly to the inhale with the ujjayi. Okay, interlace the fingers. Inhale to roll up. And then stay up for the exhale. Inhale. This time, exhale, come forward. Just an ujjayi exhale. Come forward. Touch your forehead down. Inhale, roll to the crown of your skull. Exhale, come down so your hands go to the small of your back. Inhale, roll up. Here comes a lion's breath exhale. Inhale, enjoy the opening. And exhale, slide forward to pranam. Inhale, cat pose. Now cow pose with your lion's breath. Inhale, inchworm pose. Low cobra, lion's breath. Inhale, little higher cobra. And exhale, ujjayi exhale, come to cow pose. Take your right hand forward with the inhale. Reach back to lengthen your right side waist. Now take the left arm under and come to thread the needle pose. Press down through your right hand. Inhale back to the sort of puppy dog pose here. And exhale, press up, cow pose. We are changing sides. Inhale, reach back. Take your hips back, right elbow down. And then stabilize with your left arm as you come under. Thread the needle pose. Press into your left arm and inhale, return to your puppy dog position. And then exhale, cow pose. Okay, inhale, cat pose. Exhale, child's pose. And let's inhale forward to plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. Stabilize with one hand so you can take the blanket and put it aside. Now, keeping your hands and arms and shoulders stable, as you inhale, raise your right leg up behind you without knocking into your chair. And then stack your hips over your left leg. Okay, and exhale, level your pelvis to face the floor and step your right foot through. Press down into your right heel. Let's inhale, rise up into the crescent. And then follow your exhale, sweep your arms wide, come slowly down, and inhale backwards to dog pose. Now keeping the right leg stable. So look back that your right knee and your inner arch and ankle, they don't collapse here. And then inhale, raise your left leg and stack your hips over your right thigh. Keep both arms straight and strong. And then exhale and level your hips. And step your left foot through. Press into your left heel and your right toes. Rise up to your crescent. And then exhale, sweep your arms wide. Lightly touch the floor, and let's inhale, step forward, heart forward. And exhale to Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, please, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to your heart. Put one blanket on the mat there for the knees. We are going to use Anjane Asana. Let me change the angle of my camera here. Okay, so step forward. I have to change the angle a little bit more. First, but yeah, the distance between the computer and me. Join your hands together. Find your plumb line again, just in front of the center of the heel, at the back of the arch. Make that your plumb line, please. And then as you inhale, press your hands down, turn your palms forward. Exhale, start making a little standing back bend. Roll the shoulders back, turn your thumbs back, open your chest and your heart. And then inhale to go up into the standing back bend. And exhale, bring your hips over that plumb line and bow forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward, rise up to your fingertips, open your throat. And exhale, left toes back and left knee down. So your right knee comes in line with the toes of your right foot. And inhale to open up to Anjane Asana. Let's just turn the palms face up, roll your thumbs back. Exhale, curl back. So if you take the collarbones wide, shoulders back, thumbs back. Then inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, a big circle to come forward and down. Touch your fingertips to the blocks. And inhale, raise your hips, take them backwards, straightening both legs. Exhale to bow over your right leg. Now inhale, bend your right knee, come into your crescent base, reach back and interlace your fingers. And inhale, rise up into your crescent, hands clasped. Breathe in again, please. And then exhale, bow forward slowly. Your fingers can come to the two blocks. And let's inhale backwards to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Okay, exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale to rise, just taking the arms wide, shoulders back, thumbs back. And then exhale to arc back from your collarbones being wide, shoulders back, thumbs back. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, glide forward, bring your fingertips to the blocks. Curl your back toes under and inhale, back up your hips. Both legs may straighten. And exhale to bow over your left leg. Now inhale, bend your left knee just to the base of the crescent lunge. Exhale, interlace your fingers at the small of your back. And follow your inhale to come up to this version of your crescent. Then exhale to come down. Bring your fingertips to the blocks first and then your palms, and inhale to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, inhale, plank. Exhale, come to the structure of your cow pose, in your seal pose, excuse me, and then inhale to go up. Exhale, table, and reach back, excuse me, to pranam. Walk your hands back to your knees and come to Vajrasana. So we can ask ourselves again, in what ways are you caring for that fundamental sense of grounding at the physical level, the physical body? How are you tending to the simple act of hydration, for example? How do you support your digestion? And by the way, eating while driving is not a support to your digestion. But the first question we asked this morning is, when we touch those higher beautiful states, why don't we stabilize there? You have to ask, what is not yet resolved? Kind of down below, or how are we not providing the stable base that we need for going upwards? Okay, so now we're going to make the blanket a support for the knees, and returning to a practice we did earlier. Maybe it was earlier this month, actually. I think we're in the month of July still. I'm laughing at myself there, you guys, because of my amnesia. Okay, so this is a variation on side plank, and then we're going to combine it with some work we were doing a couple days ago about thread the needle pose. Okay, so let's step to plank pose. Breathe in. And then bring your right knee down to the blanket. Press into both hands and rotate your left outer hip and heel to line up with your right toes, right shin, right knee. Press down through your right arm and inhale to this variation of the side plank pose. So make it a C shape on purpose. Press firmly into your left heel, engage your left outer hip. Engage your right outer hip. The right butt should feel toned. As you lengthen the left sideways, think of the left arm like the wisteria, getting heavy at the fingertips with the purple blossoms. Now, keeping your legs as they are, start to bring your left hand down back to where it started. So unwind just the upper portion of the pose here. And then once your left hand is grounded, rotate your left heel up, center your hips, and inhale, twist up to your right. And now exhale, take the right arm under and reach on your yoga mat towards your left foot. Roll towards the back of your head. Walk your left hand around your head. And then bring the left knee down onto your right arm. Slide the left leg back. Press into your left hand and return to table pose. Then inhale to plank pose. Okay, bring the left knee down to your blanket and rotate your pelvis over your left thigh. Turn your right outer hip and your right outer heel. And then raise your right arm to this variation of the side plank pose. So make the left butt and pelvis strong. You should not feel flimsy. And then reach firmly into your right heel, right outer hip. Lengthen your right side waist. Reach into your right thumb. And keeping the left outer hip stable, start to bring your right hand down. So you're going to feel the side waist, the upper back, the mid back. As you place your right hand, it has to reach for the floor because you have not yet turned the hips. And then rotate so that you're going to level your pelvis and pick up your right heel and then twist to your left. Good. And then come under. Reach your left hand towards your right foot. And bring your right knee down onto your left arm. Slide the right leg back. Press into your right hand and return to table pose. And then back to child's pose. And walk your hands back towards your knees. Press firmly down and rise up to kneeling. Vajrasana. Okay, now let's take our 2 blankets, please, and fold them in half. And this time I'm going to ask you to certainly place them firmly. Don't be sloppy about how you fold them. I just had a little wrinkle. I had to take it out. And when you get the blankets placed this morning, bring your chair up pretty close to the blankets. Don't leave a space for the blocks. We're not going to use them. Okay, so this is a difficult thing to do, and people do get confused by it. So please watch if it's new for you to see this. And if it's too confusing, do what we have been doing in terms of your shoulder stand pose. So don't make it like you're going to feel all baffled and discombobulated. But if this is familiar to you, if you have done it before, you'll recognize it. You're going to sit backwards on your chair. I am sliding backwards off of this chair. I did that with a lot of experience and confidence. I know where the blankets are because I have so many other times that I've done it. And I want you to come down where you really have your shoulders well situated here on the blankets, and that you can, with the elbows bent, for most of us, you're going to hold the front legs of the chair. Some of you with the elbows bent will hold the back leg of the chair, but I've not reached that one successfully. The chin does come in towards the throat. The chair is firm and it is metal, yes. And it can be the case that where you end up on the chair feels like painful, in which case you could put padding between the back of your sacrum and the chair. You'll want to plan ahead for that, of course. The other option is take the legs straight up and just see where you're resting. Is it something that could be suitable to you? Now, the dimensions of your body, the dimensions of your chair, all of this comes together. And this chair happens to be rounded on the front edge. It is still metal, but it's placed against my bone of the sacrum, and I don't feel that it's uncomfortable. So this is a more elevated supported shoulder stand. We do want to keep the shoulders consistently rolled back and under. There is a strength required of the shoulders. For anyone whose hamstring length would not be a hindrance, and you also have the experience to do it, you could take the legs and bring them down towards your head and your face. And you come to plow pose. That does require flexible hamstrings and hips, flexible calves, and strong shoulders. It requires a good setup for the supported shoulder stand so that it just felt like the next natural thing to do, not something that became chaotic or clumsy. And roll your hips back to the chair. Rise up to the supported shoulder stand. And then if you're in this version that I was showing today, you're going to put your feet on the top of the chair. If you're in yesterday's version or the one that we've been doing, your feet are already on the seat of the chair. For those who need to, now step your feet down to the chair seat. If you're doing today's version, you're going to place your hands just past your head. And you pick up the shoulders and you slide off of your chair without demolishing your blankets. Others are going to slide backwards on their chair. And then let's rest the shins and the feet up on the chair seat for a few moments, like this. And then draw your knees towards your chest. Take the arms in a T shape. Curl your knees in. Because you have this blanket stack underneath you, when you curl the knees in, they're going to come a little closer. Bring them down towards your right elbow, right armpit, up to center, left elbow, left armpit, right side, left side, and back to center. And then make yourself comfortable for your Shavasana. The shoulder stand we were doing this morning is more intermediate, and it's something that we can kind of workshop it so you can sort it through how to make it easier or more understandable. But please know that the one we've been doing is still very suited to anybody who got confused this morning. It's not necessary to make more advanced poses to have more advanced or intermediate inner experiences. Particularly if making those more advanced poses causes you a kind of stress or striving or consternation about it. So let your mind rest beautifully from the sincerity of your efforts. Now allow yourself to deeply rest. Allow yourself to deeply rest, knowing that the benefits of your practice are going inward. And those benefits are a part of how you work through at the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manamaya kosha, any of the remaining residue at the first three chakras. When you sense your body returning to home, think of it in the layers of the koshas. So the Annamaya, the Pranamaya, Manomaya, then coming down, the Jnanamaya kosha, this place of wisdom in which you can answer your own question, but it doesn't feel like you answering it. And then into the Anandamaya kosha. So having an inner sense of the quest that we are on, I'd like you now to make your transition from Shavasana back to your seat. Let's bring the hands to the mudra for the first chakra, please. Listen for the inner sound of lum. Second chakra. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. And to Anjali Mudra. And please raise your intention from your heart up to your vision. Also bowing the mind to the heart. And place that again in your heart, in your community, to the wider world. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. Thank you also to our teachers and our teachers' teachers.